Imagine this. You sit down to study, ready to conquer your to do list, but an hour later, all you have done is just stare at your notes. We have all been there. Bruce Lee once said, the successful warrior is the average man with laser like focus. Now picture this, you have got a test tomorrow, but instead of preparing, you're flipping through random YouTube videos, hours pass, and now you're stressed, unprepared, and wishing for more time. Imagine how much closer you would be to your goals if every hour worked for you instead of slipping through your fingers. So, what is really standing between us and that laser sharp focus? Here is the deal. We all have those little habits that quietly derail our focus, and today I'll share 3 common mistakes we might not even realize are getting in our way. So, let's talk about the first mistake, that is overloading our schedule. Picture this, you're trying to tackle homework, keeping up with your sports practice, and preparing for tomorrow's presentation all at once. It is like juggling 3 flaming torches, eventually one will fall and the fire might spread. Overloading yourself like this doesn't just lead to burnout, it makes it nearly impossible to focus on anything properly. This ties into the idea of law of least effort from James Clear's book Atomic Habits. Think about it, we naturally choose the easiest path. Imagine a student trying to study in a noisy environment with constant interruptions. It is nearly impossible to focus. The noise, the distractions, and the chaos make it feel like an uphill battle. But what if that same student creates a calm, quiet space with minimal distractions? Focusing on their studies become much easier. High friction environments like multitasking makes it harder to stay productive. But when we reduce that friction, focusing starts to feel natural, not like a struggle. Once we have reduced the friction in our environment, the next step is to organize our time so that focusing feels effortless. Time blocking is simple yet powerful strategy where we divide our day into specific chunks of time, each dedicated to one task or activity. Just think of it, instead of juggling through studying, chores, and socializing all at once, you allocate a set time for each, like studying from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., taking a break from 12 to 1, and so on. By doing this, you can focus entirely on one thing at a time without distractions or stress of multitasking, making it easier to stay on track and productive. Now that we have talked about overloading a schedule, which can drain our focus, it is time to talk about something that is quietly stealing our focus without us even noticing, that is digital distractions. Phones, notifications, and social media seem harmless at first, but they are like tiny interruptions that pile up and derail our entire day. One minute we are checking a message, and the next we are down a rabbit hole of memes or TikToks. The thing is, these distractions don't just creep in, they take control before even we realize it. It starts small, and maybe with a quick glance at our phone, and suddenly we are lost in endless scrolling. But here is the real challenge. How do we create a balance where technology helps rather than hindering our focus? Here, I use the concept of digital minimalism. It is a concept introduced by Newport in his book published in 2019. Newport emphasizes using technology with intention, focusing on tools that truly support your values and cutting out the rest. Imagine asking yourself, does this app help me learn, grow, or connect deeply with others? If the answer is no, it is time to reconsider. By reducing online clutter, like turning off unnecessary notifications or setting boundaries for social media, you clear the path for what matters the most. Another key strategy Newport outlines in his book is the digital declutter. This process involves taking a break from optional technologies for 30 days. During this time, you rediscover what is truly important to you and find alternatives to replace the easy distractions of digital devices. After the declutter, technology is reintroduced intentionally with clear rules and constraints. It is like hitting the reset button on your digital life. This powerful method helps you to break the cycle of overuse and regain control, ensuring technology serves your life rather than dictating it. Now let's get on to our third mistake, that is ignoring our emotional energy. Managing time and space often takes the center stage, but our emotions play equally critical role in our focus. Picture this, you're anxious about a deadline and stress that lingers in the back of your mind, sapping your energy like an invisible weight. It is like trying to climb a mountain while carrying a backpack full of rocks. Unprocessed emotions, stress, self-doubt, or even frustration can quietly drain our mental resources and make it harder to concentrate on the task at hand. It is that voice in your head that says this has to be flawless or it is not worth doing. Sounds familiar, right? Here, I personally use the concept of bracing imperfection, given by Brené Brown in her book The Gifts of Imperfection. But here is the thing. Perfectionism isn't about striving to be your best. It's about fear, fear of judgment, fear of not being enough, and this fear can paralyze you. It keeps you stuck in procrastination because starting feels too daunting, or it pushes you into burnout because you are trying to meet impossible standards. What if instead you give yourself permission to be imperfect, to make progress instead of chasing perfection? Well, letting go of perfectionism doesn't mean that you stop caring, it means you focus on what truly matters and letting go of the rest. This shift can free up so much of your mental energy, helping you to tackle tasks with clarity and purpose. Before I started to make these changes myself, I felt like I was constantly running in circles, juggling too much, distracted by everything, and weighed down by my own expectations. It was exhausting, and honestly, I thought that's how life had to be. But the truth is, small, intentional shifts made all the difference. Reducing distractions, creating time for what matters, and learning to let go of perfectionism helped me to find clarity and balance. Now, I want you to take that first step too. Start with just one thing. Maybe it's like setting a timer to work on one task, or taking 5 minutes to write down what is weighing on your mind. Whatever it is, make it yours. You would be amazed how one small action can lead to big changes. So tell me, what is that one thing you are going to try today? Drop it in the comments. I would love to hear from you, and who knows, you might inspire someone else to start their journey too. Namaste.